Hey, 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 guys. Happy Aloha Monday. Sorry, I just realized I don't have my. Whoa, you do not need me in the gloriousness of full force, full light. Not good. And how are y'all doing? Yes, the dogs want their treats right now, so let's give them their chewies and get started here. I don't know. I'm going to have to find out from you guys how many of you have seen the press conference and all, but as most of you guys know, we have a lot of updates concerning both Jillian and Veronica. A lot of stuff came together over the weekend, as we were saying. Let the police do their job, and the police, they'll take control. And they did in this case. They truly did. And we've got 4 arrests now. Unfortunately, what ended up happening was the one thing I think most of us thought was going to happen, but we had hoped and prayed against all hope that nothing would have happened. We were hoping maybe it was this or that, or they'd be able to, they were being held hostage or whatever, but didn't work out that way quite. And so, anyhow, let me say some highs to people in chat before we get started real quickly and see how everyone's doing. So we had Mark was first in chat today. Hello, 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 my dear Mark. How you doing? And thank you. And patriotism, how you doing, my dear? And patriotism's been helping me a lot with this. I've had a lot of people helping me with this case. Patriotism, Chris, KK has sent me stuff. I have been talking with BC at Seal. A lot of people who really cared a lot about what's been going on. So definitely thank you to all you guys who have been doing that. Barbara's in the house. Hello, Barbara. How you doing, my dear? And let's see who else we got here. Mom is actually joining us from the other room right now, so I can hear my voice in the background, and it's kind of weird sounding. I do have to say that. And by the way, guys, I didn't say this before to all of you guys who wished Mom a happy birthday thing. Thank you. I sat down with her and I read happy birthday stuff to her, during that trip, and it meant everything. And I see chat popping up with one of my favorite people and a birthday. We're going to be getting there real quick. Miss Kathleen has a birthday. And also we'll be getting to that as we get down there. But for all of you guys who did wish Mom happy birthday, you guys have no idea how much she really appreciated that. So let's see who else we got here. BC. And yes, BC. The question came up because with the gifted memberships, a lot of people are getting memberships and stuff, and they're not sure to handle memberships. To get a gifted membership, you have to opt in. That's how you tell YouTube, I'm okay getting this membership. If you don't want a membership, don't opt in. That's number 1 rule. If you don't want a membership, don't opt in, because once you get them, there isn't a way of getting rid of them or anything like that. In fact, we found out the other day, you can actually be a member and someone who was already a member got a membership, which was weird. And so that's just heads up for people on that. So let's see. Grave Evidence. Welcome, my dear. Welcome, welcome. And is that our dear Avery? It is our dear Avery. How you doing, my dear? KK in the house. How you doing, my dear? I love you. And we should be getting near to the birthday. Bingo! We got a birthday. Okay, I pulled Puppy up, but right now she's chomping down on chewies right now. And but guys, type in your chat, Kathleen. So you need to, I got her name up here so you guys can type it all in. And when I get close to saying her name, let it rip. Let it rip in chat. And happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kathleen. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Kathleen. How old are you now? Another year older, another year wiser. Or wisecracker, but one of us. Okay, I usually just get more and more attitude as I get older is what I find out. So there's all the happy birthdays in chat. Look at those all popping up in chat now. Yay! And I hope you've had an awesome one, Kathleen. I really hope you've had a good one. And who else we got here in chat? We've got Sleuth Mom herself. How are you, my dear? You had an amazing, oh my God, I watched the last 10 minutes of your live and I'm literally like, amen, girl. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm 110% yes. And that was so well said. Okay, you know what? Let's get away from all the bull crap of missing people being about, well, this person said this person. Let's get back to just talking about what matters, which is the missing person, showing their pictures. Okay, forgetting this is not about us and our channels. It is about getting the word out about these missing people who need their face shown, their stories told. And I'm not going to go further than that right now because we do need to talk about both of our two, Jilian and all today. But yeah, I'm getting frustrated with that whole thing. But yeah, who else we got in chat? Look at all these happy birthdays. We've got a happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. BC, happy birthday. Yes, that's the way I like it. Oh, Seal, I found something you were looking for. I'll send it in Messenger. Thank you. Because I've been kind of getting ready for today and I've still got questions, gang. I'm going to see if you guys have the same questions as me as the time goes on. But this is really throwing me for a loop. Yep, that's what I'm getting to, actually. That's where yes, that's okay. Got it. Wait, one second. I'm just reading one thing that Seal just yep, that's exactly what. It's weird because as I was going through the documents, the affidavit we're going to go through today, there's a fifth person mentioned in this, and I can't quite put my finger on where they are and how they've, because there's only 4 people arrested here, and I'm not quite sure. So I want to see what you guys have to say about that as we get there today. Who else we got here? We've got, I think I just saw Lioness here. Yep, there's Lioness. How you doing, my dear? And yes, your rage. And then your mom was like, I got a few people from church to follow you. Not a good day. Oh, yes. I know that feeling. Yes, yes, yes. I know. I showed a couple people things. Yeah. Sleuth and a rage quit. I mean, how often do those? Well, you know what? It's just frustrating. It's when you're literally here trying to bring the word out about people and we're making all this about ourselves rather than, and each other, rather than the victims of the crimes. And so I'll just leave it at that. And and we can do, so let me ask you guys this. Okay, chat gang. Okay, I think I got everyone said hi to. If I missed you, sorry. And let me know if I missed you. But otherwise, moving on. We have been following the story of both Veronica and Jilian since the day it broke. From the moment that we were being told that a vehicle had been found and 2 moms had gone missing, we were following it. We had no idea what was going on. We literally didn't even know about the custody issues or anything. I read into that, but I didn't want to say anything about it at the time because we didn't know what was happening at the time. Over the weekend, okay, and I think most of you guys in this chat, I might have special, yep, I do have a special guest. I don't only have one, I actually have 2. The other one's back there chewing. They're both enjoying their chewies right now. And they love it because they get their chewies on live days. So basically what is this wait? What is this wait? Let me know what the wait is for. But in the meantime, did he get the death? I haven't even. This is one time that, yes, little girl deserves justice and what they put her through. Yeah. This is one time, okay, I have no problem saying that was deserved. That was deserved. Sorry, I know everyone has different thoughts, all that, but yeah. So, Veronica and Jilian had gone missing. All we knew is that the two of them were going for no problem, patriotism. Okay. The two had gone to visit, okay, and pick up kids for a birthday party. Okay. Veronica's 6-year-old daughter was going to be going to a birthday party, and they were all heading there for this thing. And then mom disappears. Another mother, a mom of 4 children, disappears. And we didn't know what was going on. Got it. Oh, that's not who you, okay. Ooh, I'll have to find out who you mean then. And we now have a full story of what happened. On Saturday, while I was at the craft fair, things started breaking. Okay, this is one of the first things that started coming out. And we're going to watch this. Because on Saturday, a convoy of around 20 vehicles, including SWAT vehicles, were making their way down the roads that we've been seeing over and over and over, these wide open prairies and stuff. All of a sudden, you see this. And it's the beginning of justice. 20 vehicles driving somewhere. We didn't know at the time where, but we knew they were going somewhere. You don't see things like this in a location. And here they are. Half of them pulled off at Grandma's house. The others kept going on. This was the beginning of what a lot of people were waiting to find out what happened to these 2 women who were selfishly taken away from their children's lives and the lives of all their friends. KK, I love you. Thank you so much. KK, you are the sweetest thing, and I love you. My buddy. My buddy. That's my buddy, by the way. And also, thank you so much, my dear. Thank you. Thank you. You were aware of this a little before everyone else. Yep. You know, see, so many people, we kind of are watching to see what happens because we are worried about these people. What happens to them? And so that's what started everything. All of a sudden, while we're dealing with, okay, hearing the news about Israel and Iran, and there's a new Amber Alert coming out, this is happening. So following that, we realized very quickly that Grandma was definitely involved in this. When they pulled off at Tiffany Adams' house, okay, that was a guarantee that something involved them. Hello, Miss Chicken Lady. How are the little duckies going? And plus, she sent me a picture of Keiki, guys. I'm going to have to share. I need to share that out to you guys. Keiki is getting pretty good looking here. Pretty good looking for sure. So, and Keiki is the chicken that we named over here. So, so we had Tiffany arrested. We had Tiffany's boyfriend arrested. And then another man and woman who turned out married. And so what I want to do for our next step is I'm going to pull this down, and we are going to, let me know in chat. Put a 1 in chat if you saw the press conference. Put a 2 in chat if you have not seen the press conference yet. I know a lot of people work, and while you're working, you may not get to see a lot of these things. So that's what I want to make sure. All are hatched. Yay! Another happy birthday for all the little chickies. And so, okie dokies. I'm going to pull this down, and let's go ahead and pull up the press conference. Okay, we've got a 1. Okay, Avery's got a 1. Kathleen is a 2. Patriotism's 2. 2 waited for me. Aw, thank you, Miss KK. And, you know, it's funny because for how long I actually didn't want to share things in the evening because I was like, no, most people have seen all this stuff. By the time you get to, it's 4:15 my time in Hawaii right now. But I realized very quickly, guys, most of us work for a living. We don't have time to watch this stuff during the day. Or if we don't, we have kids. We've got this, we've got all that. This is the time you can. So let's start with that. Then after that, I'm going to bring up the affidavit, and we're going to go through the affidavit, and we'll actually get some more detailed information here. Again, I do have to finish by a certain time today because I do have rehearsal tonight, but I think we should be able to get through everything. So, oh, Rowdy's in the house. Hello, Rowdy. How you doing, my dear? And also, okay, we're gonna go ahead and start this. I should have subtitles on for y'all. Oh, is Cat Mama in the house too? Did I miss Cat Mom? Oh, I did. Oh yes, it's always fun to watch Sleuth Mom get angry. It's always fun to watch that. So it's always fun. The ones that you don't normally see get angry. It's like Robbie when I do the Krama News thing. People are so not used to me. Even my friends here in Hawaii, I don't cuss much. So when someone that you're not used to doing something does it, yeah, it gets funny. So, okay, here we go.
Good morning. I appreciate you all coming today.
1 second. I'm just gonna. I don't know if that's my earbuds or if this is not up. Okay, there we go. Here we go.
As Hunter said, my name is Angela Spurlock, the director for the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. As you all know, we have been working very diligently for the last 2 weeks to bring closure to the families. This has been challenging for everybody involved. This case did not end the way we had hoped. It has certainly been a tragedy for everybody involved. The mission of the OSBI, though, is to protect Oklahoma one partnership at a time, and certainly this case is an example of how those partnerships work. And how it takes everybody coming together to bring resolution. And so while I am very grateful for all of my agents that have worked since the very beginning, 24 hours a day, to get us to the point we are today, we could not have reached where we're at without the partnerships of the Texas County Sheriff's Office, the District 1 District Attorney's Office, without our FBI partners, and without the assistance of the Oklahoma Medical Examiner's Office.
Hello,
and the
Cougar.
Oklahoma Highway Patrol that could not be here. So our condolences go out to the family, and we will continue to update you as we continue to move this investigation forward. And I'm going to now turn it over to our FBI partners. Thank you.
Okay, as he's coming out with this, one thing watch on this for those of you who haven't seen it, and for those of you who have seen it, it gives us a chance to look at it closer now. One of the things that I recognize from many of the people speaking here is the emotion. Okay, guys, we get affected by these when we hear a case of someone going missing, when we hear about children who have lost their mom, we get affected by it. These people are living it, okay, and you can see it. You can see how it's tearing them up inside. And so for those of you who are praying types, please keep them in your prayers also. Okay, we know the families are in all of our prayers right now. Keep law enforcement and the first responders in your prayers also. Hey, Sleuth Mom, I learned that from you. Actually, that's why Mom's able to watch it today, as I put the closed captions on. Okay.
Good morning. My name is Sonia Garcia. I am acting special agent in charge for the Oklahoma City Field Office, FBI. On behalf of the entire FBI, I want to express our sincerest condolences to the family and loved ones of Veronica and Jilian. The FBI was requested to assist on this matter on April 4th, and since then, we've had a dedicated team of analysts, agents, evidence response, and tactical personnel working around the clock and alongside with OSBI and Texas County Sheriff's Office to bring the individuals responsible for this crime into custody and to provide a sense of closure to the families and to this community. Know that we are grieving with you today. We will continue to work with our partners and to be an advocate for Jilian and Veronica and to ensure that justice will be served. Thank you.
I love closed captions.
I am the Sheriff of Texas County, and I would also like to offer our condolences to the family. My agency's role in this is that we received a call on March 30th of an abandoned vehicle missing, with persons missing from the vehicle. Deputies immediately responded to the area. When they arrived on scene, they found some things that just weren't adding up, so we established a crime scene and then notified the OSBI to have them come and assist us with this and to actually take lead on the case. All right. We established a search party made up of the Guyman Fire.
Going to stop right there. I tried to break in and get a little timeline of things going. Just a reminder, 12:09 p.m. is when Veronica's family contacted the police because they found her car abandoned. And so we're talking 12:09 is when this group of people got involved and then asked other people to step in.
Fire department and several of the volunteer fire departments in the county. And we searched the area around the crime scene for about a mile in each direction.
Wow.
Once the OSBI arrived on the scene, they took the lead and got us to this point where we are today. I'd like to thank the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, especially the Northwest region. They were phenomenal in this. The Federal Bureau of Investigations, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol, Guyman Fire Department, several Kansas agencies that assisted, local agencies here in Texas County that assisted, and I'm sure I've forgotten
this was close to a
few,
state line.
but I'd like to just say thank you, even to the public. There was a lot of questions from the public as was there any danger to the public? And I think from the get-go, once we arrived on scene, that and we gained a little bit of information that we felt this wasn't a random deal.
It's targeted.
We felt that with some of the information coming in that it was more targeted, and we started to look in those areas that we were pointed to. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's one thing to keep in the back of your mind. This happened right pretty much on state lines. So you had a lot of things going on. Okay, and it wasn't just the two we're looking at. It was fairly close to Colorado, if I remember right, also. So you had a lot of things going in that. And I know one of the things Chris and I have talked about a couple times is about charges. How is this going to affect? Are all charges going to be located in one area? Will they end up, will there be anything because of the different states being involved in this? Or is it just going to stay the way we see it right now?
I'm George Harrison Leach III. I'm the district attorney for District 1. I wanted to start to let you know that on Friday the informations were filed, and they were filed under seal. The reason they were filed under seal was to protect our law enforcement officers and to try to keep the children out of harm's way.
Exactly, KK.
We were successful. No shots were fired, and the children were kept out of harm's way. Our district judge issued an order this morning, and those files are now unsealed. So you can get the informations at the courthouse, you can get the affidavits at the courthouse, which
we
give
do
you
have now.
give you the facts that we were working off of. Additionally, I would like to begin by, this has been
Feel the emotion.
This has been an amazing enterprise. I was reading on social media some of the stuff, and there were people out there that thought law enforcement was asleep, that they weren't doing anything. There were even additional law enforcement agencies: the Kansas Bureau of Investigation, Dallam County Sheriff's Office, Sherman County Sheriff's Office from the state of Texas. Everybody came together and everybody helped. We're probably talking somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 law enforcement officers.
Wow.
Truly, no exaggeration, working night and day.
And that's something for us to take away, guys, because so many times we sit there and we talk about how, well, we're not hearing updates. Why aren't we hearing updates? Okay, are they even working on it and things like that? And yeah, there are truly sometimes that is an issue. But a lot of times, especially in this case, because if those children, 2 children, were staying at the house with grandma still, okay, and that's something I don't think any of us have been able to verify, but it's been thought. There were a lot of things that could have gone wrong very quickly. Okay, a lot of things that could have happened. We're now talking about what we're going to find out from the affidavit is there's the group of people involved with this were kind of like a quasi-religious cult type thing, even though their actions weren't tied to that type of thought process. It was definitely this kind of group that were their thought process and all was very tied together. Things could have gone bad very quickly. And by them keeping everything under seal to last minute, okay, they were able to get in there, get everyone under control, arrest everyone, and not a single person be hurt. You're going to hear later on where one of the people that was, okay, during this process literally had a gun on them at the time that they were around police. Things could have gone bad very, very quickly. So, hello, Miss Amy. I love you, my dear. Yeah, Amy and I have been talking about this case also. Exactly, KK. We are not owed an explanation. We need to stop feeling so entitled to protect the investigation. Let law enforcement do their job. Trust them. Now, I think one of the good things, and this is what I want to say thank you, News Nation, for. News Nation was pushing this case. They were wanting to make sure people knew that others were going to be held responsible. Okay, law enforcement, you're responsible for looking into this. We're not going to push. We're not going to keep pushing and, okay, insist on information we don't have a right for. But these women deserve justice. And News Nation did a great job with that. Okay, because otherwise I wouldn't be. Now, I think the police in this case would have worked their butts off anyhow. They knew they were representing not only 2 women, but 6 children and families. Okay, 2 husbands. Okay, the rest of the families, everything. I was wondering about that too. And like I said, there's still someone involved in this case, and I'm not sure how they fit in with everything or if they even do fit in. And we'll get to that as we get closer. But yeah, Texas being involved is interesting.
For 15 days.
15
I
days.
want to thank the public. We had people calling us from North Texas Panhandle, from the Oklahoma Panhandle, from Southwest Kansas, providing us information,
Bingo.
responding because they cared. And the information we received from them was critical. Also want to thank corporate America. I don't know how many search warrants we issued. And I'm telling you, they responded in lightning speed.
Yes.
Anything we needed, any order we sent, we got everything that we needed. Lastly, I'd like to thank all the law enforcement agencies that came together and worked together as a team, and all their personnel. They did a fantastic job. Thank you.
It's time for these groups to be able to step up and take some credit for the hard work that they did put in.
Any additional questions you guys have, go right on ahead.
Is there confirmation at this point that the bodies recovered are Jilian and Veronica?
Not at this time. We have, we identified that there were 2 bodies during our search. Both of those deceased persons have been transported to the Oklahoma Medical Examiner's Office, where they will do a proper identification and also look into a cause and manner of death.
What led to a discovery?
And the bodies were found. Bodies were found in Texas County. Okay, too. And like they did say, because a lot of people have been wondering, in fact, a couple of us were talking, wait, is it just 2 bodies or is it 4 bodies? It looks like it's just 2 bodies that have been found. Of course, the 2 was targeted towards them, but they haven't identified them yet.
Based on the evidence that our agents and local law enforcement were able to obtain, we used that to search a wide area throughout Texas County, and we were able to use those resources in order to find where these 2 bodies were.
Do you know the timeline for when the bodies should be identified and when we should know what the cause of death was?
It's a case-by-case basis, but as soon as we hear back from the Oklahoma Medical Examiner's Office, we will let the public know.
Can you describe
No, I mean, I can say that it was a very rural area. I cannot state the condition of the bodies.
Now, some of that's going to come out with the affidavit, and we'll go through that with the affidavit. Cause of death, I don't think I've been able to hear anyone say for sure about that yet. There's some thought processes on it, of course, but I don't think that's also what I think we're going to probably hear from the ME about. Okay, is not only identification, but COD.
Private property.
I cannot confirm that at this time.
In Oklahoma, there's the death penalty. If convicted, can we possibly maybe see this in this case?
You would have to reach out to the district attorney's office. That'll be something that will be discussed further down the line.
DA Stewart,
Stopping there real quickly because I'm not sure if you can hear the questions and he's not repeating them. She was asking about the death penalty, and I know some people have asked about that. Is this potentially a death penalty case? Potentially, yes. Okay, when you go into the actual affidavit and it mentions the murder charges, death penalty is on the table. Now, what? Okay, okay, they're going to decide to go after is up to them. How do you get justice when it's family? Wouldn't that go? Yeah. This is really, I mean, this basically just tore up so many families all at once. It's horrible. It's really horrible.
alluded to a lot of people calling in with a lot of tips. Were there particular tips that broke this case?
We received several tips throughout this entire process. The public, I mean, I know that we had thanked that our local law enforcement agencies, what they were able to help us and throughout this search, but the people here throughout this area have done a tremendous job of reaching out to us. The original press release that we had put out on March 31st in regards to searching for these two women, we constantly received several tips and had used those throughout the entire 14-day process in order to find these two bodies, and then also discover and find those who were responsible for this crime.
Okay, yeah, Chris, the Texas bit. Okay, I was actually, that's why you saw me pull my phone a second ago. I wanted to verify it before I spoke. When we're hearing the word Texas, okay, part of also what's going on. Hey, Lip Locked, how you doing, my dear? Welcome, aloha. And is Texas County. Texas County is a county in Kansas. So I was literally, I think it was Kansas or Oklahoma. Let me check real quickly. Oklahoma. Texas County is a county in Oklahoma. And so that's why a lot of us are getting part of the reason why we're getting all this confusion going on right now.
The reason foul play was suspected was because of evidence found in the car. Can you go into more detail now of what that evidence was?
We cannot still at this time. It is still an ongoing investigation, and that is for our investigative purposes. Again, we can say that the evidence that was discovered inside of that abandoned vehicle and around it, we're able to help our investigators determine that there was foul play involved, and then led to the progression of this investigation. What was in the vehicle around it, we cannot discuss.
It was quite a convoy in executing these 4 search warrants. Was there concern of resistance?
The convoy.
to arrest? How much concern was there over a possible gunfight?
When you are regarding arrests and multiple arrests in the magnitude that we have all discussed, there is always, there is always a cause of trying to protect the public as best you possibly can. We can say that all 4 of those arrests were made without incident, and so that, of course,
That was a win.
went extremely well, and we are extremely grateful. Another agency that wasn't able to make it, that was a big part of that and helped us tremendously, was the Oklahoma Highway Patrol. So we want to thank them tremendously on that. But I mean, again, there was concern, but we are extremely thankful that no one was hurt, no one was injured during this process.
Did any of the 4 suspects charged in the case tell law enforcement where to find them?
Say that one more time.
Did any of the 4 suspects charged in the case tell law enforcement where?
So asking whether or not any of the 4 suspects that were arrested were the ones who said, yes, you can find the bodies in this one location.
No, we cannot discuss that at this time.
How early did you guys have suspects?
We can't discuss that at this time.
Are you able to go into further detail how you believe that this was targeted and not a random act?
Target.
Based on the evidence and the information that we were able to obtain throughout the entire investigation, what was found inside of the vehicle, witnesses, family, friends of the
They
victims
knew
that we
from
were
the
able to
get-go.
talk to throughout this entire process, we were able to gain the information to determine that that these 4 people were responsible for
Yep,
both of these women
exactly.
going missing.
Also, are you able to confirm if this was over a custody battle?
We cannot confirm that at this time.
What's the relationship, if any, between the suspects and Veronica and Jilian?
Again, because it is still an ongoing investigation, we cannot.
So they're pushing right now to find out, okay, is it due to the custody? What's the relationship? As we open up the affidavit, it becomes a lot more clear what's happened.
Discuss that.
We know that one arrest was in Texas County, the 3 others in Cimarron. Can you describe the arrest process? You said there was no resistance, but
That's all we can really say at this time. And we can say that the 4 people that we were looking for were found, arrested, and placed into custody within the same day, and there was no resistance.
What about the 5th?
obviously you can't talk about the evidence in this case, but is there significant physical evidence in this investigation?
Yes.
Lioness, the 4 that have been arrested are, we've got Grandma. Okay, so Veronica's ex-mother-in-law, Grandma's boyfriend, and then a married couple that are part of this, for lack of a better word, cult, they're describing it as. Those are the 4 people. One of the things I'm going to be looking at and see what you guys think about it is they're mentioning a 5th person in this group in the affidavit. And I, for the life of me, cannot figure out what's going on with this person because it's not a 5th arrest. And they're not saying someone else is being looked for either. So I don't think he's a suspect. But the way it's written in the affidavit, it's kind of weird, for sure.
Can you elaborate?
No.
Are you able to go into the condition of the bodies that were found?
No.
Is there a reason you guys were so tight-lipped right off the start? You said there wasn't a threat to the public when you guys were investigating, but still not a lot of information was released. Is there a reason for that?
There was
That
not
flagpole's
immediate
driving me
threat
crazy.
to the public. Again, as the sheriff alluded, this was a targeted case. And when you ask about us not releasing a lot of information in that 2-week process, this is the way that our investigators work. This is what you have to do in order to get the job done, everybody involved in order to catch those responsible and do everything in our power to find both of these people who went missing from the very beginning. So again, as we tried to do as the investigation progresses, we can release as much details as we possibly can. But again, the way that this process works is you can't give away as much as maybe you guys are asking for, because that's how we're able to catch.
Sorry. Seal actually brought up a great question. How far is Texarkana County? Oh, okay, or Texarkana. You're talking hours. It's looking like nine or so hours is what I'm seeing, unless someone else is seeing something differently. Let me see. Let me change Texas County to Cimarron County. That's even going to be further. That's going to be further. Yeah, that's even further. So yeah, that's 9 hours or so. So good idea. Good idea with it being that idea. If anyone else sees something else, maybe I didn't type it in correctly or something, let me know. But yeah, good point there. Yeah, well, this one needs a person. Yeah, you're getting the same as me, 9.34. Yeah, I'm like just over 9 hours. So that, yeah, that's a lot. So
These 4 suspects.
Did law enforcement speak with Tiffany Adams on March 30th?
I cannot confirm that.
Is the property where
you can actually see this now. Okay. For so long, we're like, why aren't the police coming out? Because the neighborhood, the city, the town, okay, has to be worried for their lives. Is there someone going around or things like that? But if you really think fact, you're talking a very small town. Everyone knows everyone, as we've realized, and all. And the potential of one of those people with grandma being pretty intimidating from the sound of it. If police had come out and said, oh, no, 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 we think it's targeted and it's tied to this, and everything would have been out. There would have been a very high possibility of other people being hurt. So I can honestly start understanding why they stayed so quiet, even though it was so frustrating for so many people. Okay, you were checking because one of the people in the affidavits has an address there. Interesting. Interesting. I'm going to have to go back and check who that is and all.
Where the bodies were found connected to the suspects at all?
I cannot confirm that.
Was Kelley a court-appointed supervisor for Butler's business with the children?
We can't go into that.
Yeah.
So I know the bodies haven't been identified, but you know, everyone expressed their condolences. Do you think there's any chance that Veronica and Jilian are still alive?
No.
So no chance that the two are alive.
We will look into that further. When that is made available, we will let everybody know.
As the investigation progresses, do you expect the possibility for more suspects to be arrested?
Not at this time.
Okay, that answers that question.
Suspects been cooperative and talkative, or have they provided any type of confession?
We cannot release that at this time.
Have the families helped you guys during this process at all? Have you guys worked
Yes.
with them? What's that been like?
Families, friends, people that have known both of these women who went missing have been a tremendous help. Everybody that we have talked to has helped us tremendously in doing everything they can to give us the necessary information in order for us to try to track them down and find out what happened.
Where are the children?
We can't go into that right now.
Are
They're safe. Yes, yes.
Are they
Children are
with
safe.
them?
We can't go into that.
Now that the FBI is involved, will they face any federal charges?
We're not going to go into that right now.
So what next? Is there going to be further investigation?
Yes,
Potential
the
charges and all,
investigation
yeah.
continues. The next steps are when the identification of the two victims is made, we will let everyone know. And when the cause and
Yes.
manner of death is made by the medical examiner's office, we will let everyone know. Right?
Were the bodies together?
We cannot confirm that.
Exactly.
Right now, there are no suspects at
Exactly.
large. The public is not in danger. That's what's important to us. We are extremely grateful that we were able to locate and arrest the 4 people that we believe are responsible for this crime. As soon as the identification is made with the bodies, we will let everyone know. But again, it took.
Gonna stop real quick there. Yeah, actually, Avery, that family, I mean, Jillian, it was a true story of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. As we go through the affidavit, she was not the normal person. Okay. Tiffany, grandma, specifically made sure that the person that she liked was not there that day. And she it's just horrible. But yeah, yes. Awesome. Yes. Could be a yes for federal charges. And patriotism, I don't know. I don't know. That's going to be interesting to find out. Will there be cameras or audio in? Okay, we'll find out probably fairly soon, at least for the first step. And then trial, we'll have to find out as time goes on.
Everybody in this case to get this done. We know that there were people throughout the 2-week process who were frustrated, who wanted answers as soon as possible. You know, we wanted those answers too, but just know that our OSBI agents, FBI agents, troopers, Kansas Bureau of Investigation, the KHP, everybody worked nonstop in order to come together and make these arrests.
Can you talk at all about the relationship between
No, we can't go into that right now.
Was there ever any concern for the children at any point in this investigation?
Of course.
Like for their safety?
There's always concern whenever there's children involved, but we can say that the children are safe.
With this being such a rural area, did this make this case unique in any ways?
It made it challenging. Again, you're talking about northern Texas County, near that Kansas line. It's very rural. those of you in the media that have been up there covering this,
Extremely rural.
there's not a lot of homes, not a lot of buildings or businesses. Sometimes you could use cameras to help you in this
Yep.
case. We did not have that. So that's what made it extremely challenging.
Is there any video evidence?
Not at this time.
Have you ever seen a case like this?
Patriotism, as long as there's updates, I will continue sharing those updates. Definitely. Okay, so if you ever see me missing an update, let me know so I can make sure to share it out, whether it's another live or community update or something like that. Please let me know, because I always want to continue and know what happens with the case also. So yes, they're not sovereigns yet. Oh yeah, exactly. And this has to go federal. Yeah, there's so many states involved in this. It's got to have some federal connection. Hey, in the bushes, how you doing, my dear? Hey, hey, hey.
The OSBI covers all kinds of cases. Each case is different in their own way. They're all just as important to us. But, you know, this case was tragic. You have two people
Trouble,
who
trouble,
are,
trouble,
who are
girl.
dead.
What do you guys say? Detention? Detention for in the bushes? I think that works. No problem. Hey, like I said, Hawaiian time. It's a real thing. I've already told my director that I might be on Hawaiian time tonight. So yeah.
And for people that committed an absolutely brutal crime. And so,
Yep.
again, that's why it took every agency involved in this in order to get this done.
Those four are still being held here?
Yes. Is everybody good? Thank you, everybody, for coming.
I wish they had done something to that wonderful flagpole at the beginning of it, because all I could hear was this dink, 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 dink. It drives me crazy. So that is the press conference. That's what happened while I was sleeping. And so they gave us a lot of information on it. However, in all honesty, there was a lot that they didn't speak to. At the time, the documents, yesterday, they kept everything under seal. But then everything was unsealed today. Yeah, amen. Amen. Hey, Tim, by the way. Hey, Tim. And you should have seen me. Thank you, by the way, BC, who was helping me try to find something with better sound, because I'm like, either my hearing is going or this is getting really bad. And also, but what was nice with this case is we were able to immediately, they didn't keep everything sealed. They opened it up so we could take a look at everything. And oh my God, trying to get a husky mix in your car. It was a coyote? Oh my gosh. And yes, they always want to do them outside. Exactly. So, oh my gosh. That's crazy, coyote. We don't got coyotes in Hawaii. That's like snakes. We don't have snakes either. So, okay, let me pull up Tiffany's affidavit for probable arrest, probable cause for an arrest warrant, so that we can kind of go through this and start making sense out of what we are seeing here. I've done a little bit of redaction, not a lot, but a little bit of redaction here, guys. Let me pull this over here. So this is for Tiffany. Tiffany, again, is grandma. Now, a couple things before we go through, I did want to share. Because it's really kind of interesting with this. Timeline. You're going to hear part of this. Yeah, no snakes in Hawaii. We don't have snakes in Hawaii. I love it. And, but of course, we also can't have pet hamsters. So got to play that, or pet hedgehogs, or any of that. And I want a pet hamster. I think they'd be so cool. And I would love a pet or a pet hedgehog. I would love a hedgehog. Have you ever seen a baby hedgehog? They are so absolutely freaking adorable. They are so cute. So, but again, as we were saying, okay, just as a story for building into this next level. March 30th is when all this started rolling. But honestly, this whole story started way before. We know there's a custody case. Other people have looked at the custody case in depth. We've kind of talked about some of the reasonings behind it, all that. But on March 20th is when I think things really took a jump. No, guinea pigs, yes, you can have guinea pigs here. Those you can, but that's about it. Guinea pigs, mice, rats. That's it. So yeah, hamsters are so cute. You have a stuffed baby. Oh my God. I've been watching on YouTube baby hedgehog videos, and they are just like stinking adorable. They're so cute. And also, but we're going to hear through here. This is not the first time they have tried to kill Veronica. There have been other attempts on her life that just happened to fail before. In addition to that, Veronica tried to get a protection from stalking order back in 2022. Back in 2022, no chinchillas. No chinchillas either here. And yeah, we actually do that because we don't want invasive species on the island, because it is an island. So if you have an invasive species come in, you could literally destroy some of the animals that you have here. And also, yeah, that's one thing. Tiffany weighs, yeah, I know exactly. I'm like, what? And also, look, that one was, I feel sorry. Yeah. So back in 2022, Veronica did file for a protection from stalking order against Tiffany. She stated in that Tiffany had stalked her after her kids' ball games. She said Tiffany would go to the game and all, but instead of watching the game and being involved in the game and all that, she would literally sit there and look at the cars sitting in the parking lot, and she'd take pictures of their license plates. Okay. She also said that Tiffany would drive by her house several times and would harass her. So a lot of things, now all that's alleged according to Tiffany, according to Veronica. But with what we're now hearing happened, I wouldn't be surprised, in all honesty. But we'll say the word alleged because it's alleged. In the end, a judge did grant a temporary order of protection from stalking, but the permanent one was not granted. The reason why the permanent one was not granted was Veronica testified that she, quote, didn't have any fear and there were no threats being made against her, actual threats. Because of that, the judge could not, grant a permanent protection order and all. Which becomes, did Mongoose prompt these laws? Yes. No, yes and no, but yes. For those of you who don't know Hawaii, we had rats introduced to the islands because of ships. They'd come in on ships. So they decided, let's get rid of the rats by bringing in mongoose, which are their biggest thing to attack with. The problem is they forgot rats are nocturnal, mongoose are daytime. So now we have two of them. So yeah, it did not work well. Fuzzy caterpillar. Oh my God, so cute. I believe these allegations. Now, personally, I believe alleged, but yeah, we totally lost focus there, didn't we? That's normal for me. Okay, yeah, it's like squirrel. What? Where's squirrel? Squirrel. That's the another thing I wish I had with squirrels here. But yeah, moving on. And so that was one thing I came across that I did want to share. This is something that's been going on, and then in February, it looks like there was some discussion of a murder at that time that fell apart. Basically their thought was, and it's discussed in here, they were going to kill her with an anvil being thrown into the car. Well, and because it was considered normal, because anvils fall off cars all the time, I guess, where they are. However, that did not come together. Then on March 20th, 10 days before all this came together, Veronica filed for more time with the children, with the goal being full custody. That probably was like Tiffany's, probably like, oh, hell no, not happening. Okay, fill in the blank, however you want to word it, but it's not going to happen. And that's when the decision moved into that direction. Hey, Marion, welcome, my dear. And this story, I mean, how many lives have been destroyed by these four people is At first, I just said sick. Now I'm saying evil because that's what it is evil, plain and simple. So that leads us into where we are right now. Wanted to let you know that I did go through this earlier and put together a whole list of every person mentioned in this affidavit and how they all connect. So hopefully we can make this make sense to all of us as we go through. It's only 3 pages long, but basically this was actually put together by Special Agent Jason Ott of OSBI. They are monsters, Barbara. Yes, they are monsters for sure. He has been with law enforcement in the state of Kansas and Oklahoma for 27 years, served in a capacity as investigator for over 20 years. He starts off by saying on Saturday, March 30th, the Texas County Sheriff's Office requested Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation Investigative Services with the suspicious disappearance of Veronica Butler, 27, and Jilian Kelley, 39, from rural Texas County after their vehicle was found abandoned near Highway 95. I do have a breakdown of all of that just as a reminder. Actually, I think most of this is in here. Yeah, actually, most of this is here. And let me take this. Marion, you know, so many families, and we need to remember everyone's family. I just reread what you were saying. Sorry, I didn't catch it all first, but we need to always remember everyone's family, because just because someone is caught or a trial occurs, or even, okay, sentencing occurs, it's not over. Families continue to live forever with whatever happens. And also, so let's see how we're doing with this. We know they left that morning, okay, for a 10 o'clock appointment. They were supposed to meet them at 10. So interviews were conducted related to their disappearance, and it was discovered that Butler was in a problematic custody battle with Tiffany Adams for the custody of Butler's 2 children, Veronica's 2 children. The father of those children was Wrangler Rickman, Adams' son, so grandma's son. Butler's visitation with her children was court-ordered to be supervised every Saturday. Adams had a particular person, so grandma had a particular person she preferred to supervise. Those people, that person's name was Cheryl Brune, who will come up because they did interview her during the process of this also. The court had decided that Adams' grandma would pay Brune for any supervisory visits if she was going to be the one who was present. If that could not happen and one of the other people on the list would be there, then Veronica was supposed to pay. Okay, Adams, now this is where things start to roll forward. Grandma said that Brune, the one that she liked and always wanted, was unavailable to supervise visitation on March 30th. So Veronica was required to arrange supervision with one of the other 3 people that were approved to be supervisor. Okay, Veronica then contacted Kelley of Hugoton, Kansas, and planned to have her supervise the visit. So again, 4 people were on that list. Grandma specifically decided, this one I want to save. Any of the others are fair game. Grandma made that decision herself. Okay, and yeah, one of the informants in this case even asked, why did she have to be killed? And there's an answer to that later on. Veronica told family members she was going to pick up her children from grandma at 10 a.m. at 4 Corners. Butler and Kelley left Hugoton, Kansas, and traveled Highway 95 and Road L about 5 miles north of 4 Corners. Butler and Kelley arrived at the location at approximately 9:40 a.m. Now, I'm not sure if this is what I'm trying to figure out. Not sure if you guys have a better feel on this. Does that mean they actually arrived at the 4 Corners location they were supposed to meet at 9:40? Or did they arrive at the location where they were killed at 9:40, the actual car location. That's what I'm not quite able to read, and would love to hear your thoughts on that as we go through this. I'm trying to clear a lot of this up in my head. Butler and Kelley, arrived at that time. Butler planned to bring her daughter to a birthday party, but they did not arrive. At that time, the family began looking for Veronica. Melissa and Joey Padilla were Butler's family members, and they located the abandoned vehicle just west of the intersection on Highway 95 and Road L. The Padillas then contacted law enforcement at 12:09 hours. So from 9:40 to 12:09 is right now the time frames we're being given. An examination of the vehicle and area surrounding the vehicle found evidence of severe injury. Blood was found on the roadway and edge of the roadway. Veronica's glasses were found in the roadway south of the vehicle near a broken hammer. A pistol magazine was found in Jilian's purse at the scene, but no pistol was found. So that's got me thinking a couple different things. Okay, first of all, glasses and all, did those fall off at some point? Okay, were they grabbed? Whatever. But the pistol bit makes me wonder, was there fear to begin with? Okay, and she had something with her as protection at that time. Because you got a magazine there, just no actual pistol. Did they go through her purse and grab it and throw it? Okay, take certain things, or so I don't know what's happened there. And then just so you guys know, a lot of things still have not been found. For example, phones have not been found yet. Adams, again, grandma, told OSBI that on Friday night, the night before all this happened, Rickman and Butler's children, so the children, were staying the night with Barrett and Lacey Cook. Okay, Barrett and Lacey Cook, they were kind of babysitting the kids overnight, it looks like. Adams said she planned to pick them up that morning before visitation. Adams said she called Butler, Veronica, at 9 a.m. to confirm the meeting, and Butler told Adams, so Veronica told Grandma, something came up and she wasn't going to be able to meet with them. She wasn't going to be able to pick up the kids and take the kids or anything like that. Cat Mama, when did they deny 2022 is what I'm hearing on that temporary protection order against stalking. So at this point, we've got that Veronica supposedly isn't coming to pick up her kids and all, according to Grandma. Okay. However, Butler's phone records did confirm, yes, a call was made around 9 a.m. However, at that time, when Veronica was supposedly saying, sorry, something's gone on, I can't be there, I can't pick up the kids and spend time with them today, thank you, but no thank you, kind of thing. At that time, Butler was in Hugoton, Kansas, in the process of picking up Kelley to go meet Grandma. So why the hell would she be telling them I'm not coming if she's literally picking up Jilian at that time? Okay. Grandma stated she was home at the time that Butler and Kelley went missing. Adams picked up the children, before 12 o'clock from the Cook's residence. So it sounds like the children may have been at the Cook's residence during the time that everything happened, is what I'm catching. Please let me know what you guys think in chat. So still reasonable fear to have the the pew pew actually was Jillian's, so the supervisor, in her purse and all. But it shows, especially if you're doing supervising visits, you probably know the whole story about what's going on. Okay, I'm sure she's been brought into the fold of information and all. So, yeah, thank God they weren't, because that's been one of my biggest fears is, were the children in the car when all this happened? That's been one of my biggest fears. And so it looks like, for as much of an asshole and evil allegedly be this lady is, um, she cares enough about the kids that she didn't want them around. And she was trying to protect them on that level. She didn't care about anyone else's life, of course, but at least that. And so, OSBI interviewed Brune. Okay, so this is the lady that is normally the supervisor when grandma can coordinate the visit and all. She said she was available to supervise that day, but grandma told her to take a couple of weeks off from visitation so grandma could question the children related to how Veronica's approved visitation supervisors were. So grandma set that whole thing up. Okay, hey there, I don't need you for a few weeks. I want to talk with the kids and make sure these supervisors that are also coming are good people and they're not doing anything to hurt people. No, basically she wanted to make sure that the girl that she liked was safe and was not the accidental victim. Okay, big red flag. And yeah, exactly. And yeah, this is just wow. And okay, Butler and Kelley's phone records indicated their devices were actively sending signals to their carriers until 9:42. So we were told they arrived at wherever they were going. Now, whether that's where the car was left or if that's at the Four Corners area where they were supposed to meet at 9:40. At 9:42, their phones went silent, completely silent. Something happened around 9:42. After that, the devices were no longer seen by networks and stopped transmitting. They were turned off, they were destroyed. Something happened at that point. Neither phone was found at the scene or within the vehicle, and they are still currently missing. Adams was the last, so grandma was the last known person to communicate with Veronica and was scheduled to meet Butler and Kelley, Jilian and Veronica, for visitation at 10 a.m. on March 30th. So, through the child custody case, recordings were obtained where Rickman, dad of the children, discussed death threats by grandma and grandma's boyfriend, new name, Tad Cullum. Tad Cullum is one of the people who was arrested. Tad Cullum is also one of the people involved in this quote unquote cult that we're going to hear about. The custody battle began in February of 2019 with many hearings and court appearances. On March 18th of this year and March 20th, motions were filed requesting extended visitation for Veronica. A hearing was scheduled to occur on the 17th, 2 days from today. Butler's attorney informed OSBI that Butler was likely to receive unsupervised visitation with her children at that hearing. At times, grandma refused to let Rickman have his own children, even though he was the one with legal custody of them. Very interesting. Exactly, Barbara. Very interesting with this. Grandma basically had taken these kids on as her children at this point. Law enforcement previously responded to a call for service where grandma refused to give her son his children. Reportedly, the officer told dad he believed the children were better off in grandma's care. Rickman's grandmother. So, grandma, so mama, is what I'm thinking. here, so mom of grandma, okay, reported that in mid to late February of 2024, children's dad, told her they didn't have to worry about the custody battle much longer because grandma had it under control. That grandma knew the path the judge walked to work, and, quote, we will take out Veronica at drop off. This is coming directly from her son. He then was confirmed to be in the rehab facility. We all talked about that at the time of the disappearance. The children remain in the custody of Adams, which was one of the things. Did she have the children at the whole time? And he denied having any of this conversation with Knox, okay, where he supposedly said that they were going to take her out and all that. Sorry, I'm trying to figure the best way. Hopefully that's helping it out with you guys, so thank you. I wasn't sure if I should use names because I literally, gang, this is my notes of who's who and all. It's literally probably about 12 names to keep separate. So thank you. I'm happy that's working for you. So on April 1st, April Fool's Day this year, OSBI agents obtained a search warrant for grandma's cellular phone. OSBI agents performed an extraction on the device. Information gained from the device included web searches for taser pain level, gun shops, prepaid cellular phones, and how to get someone out of their house. So I can tell you right now, 4 of those things, taser, gun, prepaid cellular phones, those 3 things there, are going to be re-mentioned later on in this document. And thank you, patriotism. I'm happy that's working for you guys. I really am. On April 3rd, okay, a couple days later, now this is when we get into who is being named as, in many documents that you're reading right now, as an informant. And this is who I think they're talking about here. OSBI interviewed C.W. C.W. is 16 years old and is the daughter of Cora Twombly and Kobe White. Cora Twombly and Cole Twombly are married, and they are the 2 other people that were arrested. Okay, so this 16-year-old girl is the daughter of the female who was arrested. So she lived with 2 of the people who were arrested. So definitely has a little bit more insight into things. CW stated she had overheard group conversations related to Veronica not protecting her children from her brother, all in reference to an SA allegation, which we've all talked about here. She then advised that she was told by her mom that grandma's boyfriend, okay, her mother and her stepdad and a guy by the name of Paul Grice. And this is the one person I can't quite fit into this overall thing because he was not arrested. So as of right now, we have no bolos on him. They're saying that they don't expect any more arrests or anything. So this is just a 5th person in this group. Were involved in the deaths of Veronica and Jilian. She stated that grandma had provided burner phones to use so they could communicate without using their personal devices. The 16-year-old then also said 2 of the burner phones had been charging on her mother's nightstand in her bedroom. Okay, yes, Barbara, she is. The 16-year-old described, okay, her mom, her stepdad, grandma's boyfriend, and Paul Grice as being part of an anti-government group that had a religious affiliation. Through OSBI investigation, it was learned that they call their group God's Misfits. They had regular meetings, which were held weekly at the Twombly's house and the home of Barrett and Lacey Cook. Do you remember the names Barrett and Lacey Cook? That was the couple who were babysitting the children the night before all this happened, and probably during the time it happened. They were the babysitters. The 16-year-old was told on March 29th, day before all this happened, that mom and stepdad would not be home in the morning when she woke up and were going to be on a quote unquote mission. When she woke up at around 10 a.m., mom and stepdad were not home, but came home around noon. She knew that mom and stepdad had taken a blue and gray Chevrolet pickup owned by them and a blue flatbed pickup owned by her Clint Twombly, so another member of the family, when they left and returned in the same vehicles. She then was told to clean the interior of the Chevrolet pickup. So they come home after whatever happened, and then she's told, go clean up inside the pickup, which is interesting. She asked her mom what had happened and was told that things did not go as planned, but they would not have to worry about Veronica again. She then was told that mom and stepdad blocked the road to stop Veronica and Jilian and divert them towards an area where grandma's boyfriend, and this fifth person, Grice, were. CW asked, so the 16-year-old asked about Kelley. So they asked about Jilian, because Jilian was not part of any of this thing. And she asked, well, why did she have to die? So she knew what was going on here. Why did they have to die? And she was told by her mom that she wasn't innocent either, as she supported Veronica. The 16-year-old asked her mom if the bodies were put in a well. And her mom said something like that. 16-year-old also disclosed that other attempts to kill Veronica occurred during February of this year near Hugoton, Kansas, in which Adams, Cullum, so the same group of 5 that we keep hearing about, went to Hugoton. But Butler, Veronica did not leave her house. This is consistent with the web search later on discovered on, grandma's phone about how to get someone out of their house. Remember? So actually all of them popped up. She had put into her phone, how do you get someone out of their house? Well, they tried to get her out of the house. She didn't come out of her house. According to Cora, the 16-year-old's mom, the plan was to throw an anvil through Veronica's windshield while she was driving, making it look like an accident because anvils regularly fall off workplace vehicles. And here comes the Texas part, guys. You were wondering about Texas. Here it is. While in Carrick, Texas, interviewing the 16-year-old and her brother, so that's where these people lived. That's making sense now. See, I'm not sure if you're still in chat, but there's the connection right there. It's now making sense. While they were interviewing the 16-year-old and her brother, mom and stepdad arrived and tried to get access to the 16-year-old and the brother. Mom got verbally aggressive and was very upset with the law enforcement officer that she was not given access to the 16-year-old and her brother. The stepdad then exited the vehicle, armed with a handgun in a holster on his belt. That could have turned bad very, very quick. I can't figure out how they thought, no, I don't get it. I mean, how they thought they would ever get away with things like this. But I'm sure they thought other people don't have any semblance of ethics or morality to them, or they'd be able to keep other people quiet. But this 16-year-old, in my eyes, is a hero. She is a freaking hero. She stood up for what she knows in her heart is right. What happened was wrong. And sorry, F them for putting their 16-year-old daughter through this type of thing. I'm sorry, I am going to say that. For any parent to put their child through this type of thing, we talk about it all the time when you have cases like Ariel's and Gianna's and all, where you have, okay, siblings forced to watch or hear about things happening. I mean, this is a special kid. She's not a kid. She's a teenager, but she really is a hero in this. And all. So OSBI investigation showed that grandma searched for gun shops on her cellular phone. A search of local gun shops showed that grandma, had bought 5 stun guns at the Big R store in Gueman, Oklahoma, is how I think it's pronounced. I might be wrong. Okay, the purchase was made on March 23rd, so just a few days before. Okay, yeah, they planned this out. It was pre-planned to the minutiae. I've learned that I can't understand. Yeah, amen, KK. If we can't understand it, it's a good thing. It's actually a good thing we can't understand it. OSBI investigation showed that grandma purchased 3. Okay, now we're going to get into some stuff about cell phones here. I've left the phone numbers here. Grandma is straight off, yeah. Evil in my eyes right there. Okay, the phone numbers are here so you can track the phone numbers and all that. OSBI investigation showed that grandma purchased 3 prepaid cell phones from Walmart in Gueman, Oklahoma on February 13th. Okay, wonder if these were tied to the first try that they were going to go after. The phones were identified by phone numbers, and we've got the 3 phone number. Well, actually, the 3 phone numbers right there. Those are not cheap either. Exactly. The guns, you mean the tasers? Yeah. Search warrants for information related to location services and phones usage were completed for each device, and that's what we heard during the press conference. Thank you to all those people who responded with information so quickly. It was learned that all 3 phones were at the area where, okay, Veronica's car was located, and the last known location of Veronica and Jilian at the time of their disappearance. And all 3 phones were powered on and accessed the cell network for the first time at or near Cullum's residence at different times. Okay, Cullum's residence. Let me see if I could go through all this stuff. I'm just trying to go through a couple different things here. Make sure I got it. Prior to March 30th. So on March 30th, 2 of the phone numbers, okay, phone numbers blank and blank before Butler's and Kelley's disappearance were at the house of the 16-year-old's mom and stepdad. So that was probably their phones. You could probably almost figure that one out there. Prior to going to or near the resident, Butler and Kelley's disappearance at 10:05 and 10:16 hours, 2 of those phones were in the area or near Cullum's residence. Okay, so they're starting to locate exactly where all the different phone numbers were at the various times. I need to break that down a little bit more in my own head at some time here. We're at the last location. All 3 phones were Cullum's. I'm trying to remember who Cullum is in this. And also, sorry, I'm going back trying to find who Cullum was. Oh, okay. Describe Adam's Cullum. Okay, Cullum is the describe Cora Cole. Adams Cullum. Cullum is, I think, the boyfriend. Yes, the boyfriend. Sorry, guys. I just want to get this. I'm going to go back through this for you guys because I now figured out who Cullum was here. Hey, Fia, how you doing, my dear? Love you, my dear. Mwah, love you. So let me go back through this real quickly now that I can tell you who that person was. I had forgotten. So search warrants, we had the 3 different phones going on. All 3 phones were powered on and accessed for the first time near grandma's boyfriend's house at different times prior to March 30th. On March 30th, 2 of those numbers, were seen at the 16-year-old mom's and stepdad's house prior to going to or being near grandma's boyfriend's house. Hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. And Butler and Kelley's disappearance at 10:15 and 10:16, you could see those numbers near his place. So basically, long story, they're connecting up at these areas. They're being able to see these 4 phones connecting up with each other. After Veronica and Jilian's disappearance on March 30th between 10:16 and 10:35 hours, it was determined that the other 2 phones were at a property owned by Jamie Beasley. Jamie Beasley does not look like he's involved in this. He just owns property where a lot of the 2 of these people went. This property is below a dam in a where they went, below a dam in a pasture where fresh dirt work was located by law enforcement. Concrete was moved from a location near Beasley's, so this property, approximately 150 to 200 yards below the dam, where it was discovered that a hole had been dug and filled back in and then covered with hay over the top of it. The location where Veronica and Jilian disappeared from and where Butler's or grandma's vehicle was located is approximately 8.5 miles away from the location below the dam on the property, giving a drive time from the location where the car was abandoned, to the property where this is kind of giving me an idea they're thinking they were, buried, as well within the 34 minutes between the time of Veronica and Jilian's phone stopping and those other numbers arriving at the dam on that property. All prepaid phones stopped transmitting completely on the morning of March 30th at locations near the Twomley's residence and Beasley's property. So they're actually almost able to figure out who, when they were all together, and then who actually went and did the burying. They're able to get a lot of this. Yeah, probably a good lesson right there. If someone says, can I dig a hole in your backyard? Say no. And right now, what this does not get into is did the person know that they were on his property? He may not have known, but he may have. I don't know. There's a lot of names being mentioned in this that haven't gone forward. And to be honest, this third person, this Paul Grice, I'm not sure because they're being listed multiple times here. But there's not anything else there. There's no space. Yeah. Your answer. Can I dig a hole in your thing? Oh, sorry, I don't have any space left. It's all been filled in by other things already. Yeah, that's it. So that's your affidavit. That is what the arrest came down on. Now, what were they arrested for? We've got 4 counts. Murder in the first degree. So 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of kidnapping, then the conspiracy. As I said, the murder in the first degree charges where they are, and this is not even going federal at this point. Goes federal, who knows what else gets added on. But the murder in the first degree can come down to life in prison with parole, or death penalty. So we are looking at a death penalty. And And so we'll see. Did he? I'm wondering, did he or not? I'm trying to remember. I'm still trying to put all this together in my head. This has been a really complicated with so many names and all that. No, we know it isn't. Sometimes you have to laugh because the stuff gets so sad and sick and evil, and it makes no sense, and you're trying to make it make sense, and sometimes you have to laugh because if you don't, you're going to cry, honestly. And yeah, and being named is actually being there, which is, yeah, that's what gets me. That's what gets me is he's listed as, so I don't know, and I don't want to say I can tell you this right now. Okay, no, that person is not being listed as being there, just his property being used. And who is listed in the thing as connected to everything is this Paul Grice. Now, could there be a second informant? But no one's been arrested, I don't think. So I don't know. There's still stuff I think going on out there. I don't know what it is yet, but there's still something going on out there. Yep. You gotta, if you don't laugh, you gotta cry. And you know what? In these chats, if we don't break the tension at times, you gotta break the tension. So that's where we are with this. We do know day after tomorrow, they will be in court. And maybe we'll find out some more. I'm not sure when we'll hear a little bit more about, let me go ahead and do this. Not sure how much longer till we hear for sure identifications and cause of death. Hopefully fairly soon. Like I said before, though, we have 6 children and what's kind of hard to even understand, Jilian, my suspicion with the age of Jilian's children, they've known what was going on throughout this. And they've been having to every night go to sleep wondering what was going on. That's one type of prayer. Okay, one type of thought process, one type of just trying to send support. The case of Veronica's children, they're younger. And they most likely, from the sound of it, they were with grandma. So they probably didn't even know what was going on this whole time. And even if grandma is an asshole and a jerkwad and all the rest of the words you want to throw out there, allegedly, and all, she is the one person these 2 kids have always seen as a supporter, a caregiver. And this has to be hard on them, really hard on them, because they've been pulled away from all that. And now their life is falling apart right now, completely falling apart. And their life has been rough to begin with. And so please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And yeah, patriotism, you asked me earlier about covering. Yeah, I'm going to keep covering this case. I'm trying to do some changes in this. We need to keep bringing up the cases no one knows about. We're going to continue doing that. We will continue doing that. But a lot of these cases are always in the back of my head also, and I want to follow up on those cases too. So I'm trying to figure out how to balance those at the same time. So, lip lock, that's what I heard too. I was rereading this as I was reading this to you guys. I wasn't sure, according to the affidavit, when they talked about the birthday, were they saying they were going to another child's birthday party, or were they going to the girl's birthday party? It was the girl. So I was thinking, and that destroys things even more. If it was her daughter's birthday, that puts a pall over future birthdays. Okay, because now her birthday is tied to the loss of her mother, if that's true. So, but yeah, if you guys know of any cases you would like to see covered more, there's a lot out there right now. There's so much out there right now that needs brought to attention. Please let me know. And KK, you have no much. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much. And for all of you guys who helped me cover and help me research over the weekend, Saturday, when I was literally trying to sell stuff at a craft fair, street fair, while at the same time we are over on Discord talking about what's going on with Israel, Iran, and then KK sending us an Amber Alert. And then all of a sudden I'm getting more notifications about this all going down. I could only follow up on all that because you guys were sending it all to me. So thank you guys so much for that. And KK, I love you. Thank you so much for sending me that little thank you right there. So hope you guys all have an amazing rest of your evening. The missing in Hawaii, I volunteered to go. Oh, is that one? Actually, I need to go look for him. I will go look for him on that one for sure. How about I wasn't going to start any new missing children, but I've got a boy. Oh. Wow. See, that's it, Lipla. You can't. It's so hard because once you see families hurting and know that you sharing their pictures and their stories, it's hard to stop. It's hard to stop. And so keep vowing you'll never do it. It's like me in theater. I keep saying I'm not going to do a show. And what do? I do another show. Of course. Exactly. And you have to. No problem. Hey, anyone who ever talks to me over on Messenger knows me and talk to text is a joke. Okay, and that's all I use. Timmy D's. That's a good yes. So I'm going to hit the road. I've got to be at rehearsal in 20 minutes, which is not going to happen. So I will talk to all of y'all laters. Aloha, mahalo, and bye-bye.